I'm coming to find I'm starting to have an issue with my 2020 Trail Boss, and it's time that we differentiate ourselves just a little bit. One of my most favorite parts about having this YouTube channel is the opportunity I have to learn from you guys. All these videos and projects I kick off, 90% of the time, I have no idea what I'm doing. But I learned so much from your comments, your DMs, your engagement that truly this is my favorite part of producing these videos. Last week we installed a JLT catch can on the Trail Boss and took it for call it a 3,000-ish mile journey to Florida and back. We had some issues, learned a lot from you guys, so I've been going back and forth with JLT all week. We got some replacement parts coming that I think is gonna fix the issue. And then for this week, I had an idea for a video. The parts have been here for a while. I mocked them up on Thursday, but then had another idea I'd place an order. So that's gonna be delayed till next week. But today, we are finally getting into something that I've been meaning to do for a while. I just keep putting it off and off and off. Before we get into that, it's early Saturday morning and it's time to break a little bit of the sweat. So we're gonna knock this out quick, get to the Trail Boss for our smoked out modification today. But first I gotta deal with this because dad bod. So who's ready for another Trail Boss mod? For $12.99, you yourself can also do this for yourself. Now I do want to say, if you guys are new to the channel, one, Aloha Aoinala, nailed it by the way. If you guys have not joined the Lonestar Hawaiian family just yet, if you guys are new, feel free to scroll down and hit that subscribe button below, be part of the family. But let's get this Trail Boss back over here. So on this 2020 Trail Boss, there is so much that's just perfectly right with it. They've designed it so well, it's so aggressive, really catches your eye from every single angle you look at it. But also what catches your eye, unfortunately, are some things that are required by the DOT. This is what catches my eye every single time. It just looks out of place. Now I'm gonna say, be sure to check with your local laws and regulations before you do something like this. But I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out right now just to see what it looks like. And if I like it, we're gonna keep it, which we're gonna keep it. Now on top of those amber reflectors, we're also going to do a few things here in the rear. I'm not sure what I'm doing with the tail lamps just yet, but I know this third brake light, for some reason, it doesn't match anything. The red color, that really dark red, doesn't match this really bright red, doesn't match this red, nor does it match anything else back here. So we're actually going to smoke that entire third tail lamp out to complete this little winglet here they have on the back of the cabs. All right, so taking a look at what we're working with here. This is a smoke tint from VViViD Vinyl. I bought this off of Amazon Thursday night at like 9 p.m. I received it Friday morning at 10 a.m. $12.99. Like a lot of you, I hate Amazon. I love Amazon, but I hate Amazon, but I love Amazon. So what's unique about this tint, and this is actually the first time I've ever used anything like this, is the hexagonal pattern within the smoked tint. It looks pretty interesting. I'm excited to try it out for the first time. So if you take a look there, you can see that hex pattern within that smoke tint. If I was doing a large headlamp or the entire tail lamp, I probably wouldn't use this because I think it looks a little cheesy. But since I'm doing smaller portions of the vehicle, I think that hex pattern actually might look really cool. So what we're gonna be using is some knifeless tape. We're gonna lay that knifeless tape exactly where the edge needs to cut. I will lay the smoke tint over the top of it, use some heat to apply it, pull that knifeless tape out from under it, cut the vinyl, and then essentially we're gonna have a smoked out reflector. That's the plan anyways, let's go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with some alcohol. This is nothing special, just alcohol from Walmart. That looks so much better. Wow. Okay, let's knock out the passenger side quick, and then we're gonna hop up on the tail lamp because that third brake light is gonna get some love as well. What's cool about buying just a sheet of this is if you mess up, you got plenty more, but also you can get really creative in how you wanna lay it. So this is simple as, it looks about yay big. I'm gonna cut it right here and then lay it down, cut around the edge, and good, this is easy. So what we have here is our knifeless tape. We're gonna take this, we're gonna lay it across the front. Reason being, I don't wanna take an X-Acto knife and cut against the headlamp, pull it out from underneath once it's laid down, and then use my X-Acto knife along this crease here. Basically, the knifeless tape's pretty simple. You'll see that yellow line right there. So basically, that yellow line is gonna be where it cuts. So you have to be cognizant of what side that's on. So I'm gonna put it on this side. I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place with this video, but that side is done, and so is the driver's side. If I were to take a flashlight or a headlamp and shine it right there, I would get an amber reflector shining back through the tint. Just the angle even. The angle I cut it at, I did not intend this, but it actually takes on the same angle as this grill piece and actually almost just pulls the front end up even more. Just that looks so good. So what's gonna happen now, because it is in fact 1,000,000 degrees in Texas, the ZL1's coming out, going back in its spot. We're gonna pull the trail boss and actually back it in because my bed cover is, yeah, it's way hot. And the next project is right there. It looks so good. It's gonna look even better once I actually clean up all those smudge marks. That is so good, I love that. All right, I'm done acting like a 3-year-old. So what we're gonna be doing is the third brake light, and I kinda wanna play around with these tail lamps. I'm not exactly sure what I wanna do yet, because I don't wanna cover it up completely, because I hate when people smoke out their tail lamps. You can hardly see when they brake on their brake light, even though I just said that. I'm gonna do my third brake light, but that's less important than these two. I don't know. So we're gonna do that one once this bed cover cools down, because that's bloody hot. Might play around with the fog lamps, maybe. So I don't fully understand what Chevy is going for with this third brake light. It's like a maroon color. It's a lot darker than any other light on here. It doesn't match anything. We have a red third brake light and our LED cargo lamps in here, but we're gonna go ahead and tint this all together. All right, it's a total mess, but it's clean. Oh, it's good. I need to clean all the smudges off that, but I want to check really quick to see if that brake light is still visible, because that tint's really dark. Fun fact, if you are by yourself and you need to check your brake lights, grab a 2x4, press it up against your brake pedal, move the seat forward until it presses against the 2x4, and then voila, you have brake lights. I was initially gonna try to wrap portions of this, but just seeing where these lights are, there's one there, there's kind of that illuminated effect here and there. There's really nothing on the side that I wanna wrap. I'm actually just gonna break it up a little bit between the bed and the fender. I'm gonna run a strip of tint down right there to kind of pull some of the red out of there, but everything else looks pretty good as is. And then eventually I will be upgrading to, I think, the Recon tail lamps. They have some cool ones, some really cool aftermarket ones that we eventually will get to. But for now, we're gonna throw a little bit of tint on here, and then we're going back to the front end. There's one other thing I wanna try. And final piece, but before we get to that, there is our required amber light. The last piece is the fog lamp down here, and I was hoping this would be the fact, and it absolutely is. For some reason, Chevrolet puts a fog lamp that is that big at the bottom of the bumper, but the light portion is this big. So basically what we're gonna do is take away this ugly chrome backing piece by laying a piece of that smoke tint up and around here to basically take away the ugly and leave the functional. What's up, my dude? Shoots! Oh, brother, where you at? I say this a lot, and it's all in the minor details when it comes to aesthetics and the look of a truck. That shape just doesn't fit the look of this truck. It's too big, it's too bulky. This just cutting down about an inch off the very top, an inch off the very bottom, just completely revamps the look of this, and it kind of makes it more thin, more streamlined. As you can see, it's clearly a bit warm. Good morning, you guys. Again, I think that was like the third time you've come through those doors, but last night I had an idea that I want to make one additional adjustment to the third brake light before we finish this thing off. As the more and more I thought about this looks really good and really clean, but it is a lot of black. So my idea is to break this up a little bit, and that idea is going to allow me to have a brighter third brake light and also still use my cargo lamps up there if I do need them. So let me show you what I'm thinking about. This is why I buy a cheap roll versus a pre-cut kit. Guys, if you screw up or have an idea, pull it off, change it. All right, so look at the third brake light. You can see the actual portion that shines red is clear. The rest of the red is actually useless. There's no point to it. These are the cargo lamps. This is the third brake light. So I'm gonna cover all the red, but leave the white open. So what I did is ran that knifeless tape right around the edge of all the clear. That way I can pull that knifeless tape out and then cut along this edge, and then this will be clear.
Holy shnikes, it worked.
Continue to be blown away how far just those little touches, little changes go. It completely changes the look of the truck, especially for someone that owns the vehicle. Most, 90% of people will walk by this truck and see absolutely no difference between this one and every other trail boss on the road. But me, owner, that looks at this day in and day out, I love the changes there in the fog lamps. Really happy we took care of those because I felt like they're too big from factory. Chevy designed this well, but the fog lamps are just way too large. We cut down how distracting those are, but we still have full functionality in the light itself. Again, on this side with the smoked light, and unintentional was that direction we cut it at, because from the front, you can still see that reflector looking in, but no longer because that's pulled over just a little bit. So even just the angle that it's cut at kind of pulls the front end up, makes it look pretty aggressive. Here on the third brake light, gone back and forth. Super happy we settled with this one because I have full functionality of that third brake light and my cargo lamps. I was on the fence about the cargo lamps, don't really care, don't really use them, but that third brake light, it's peace of mind. That was what I was thinking about last night. I want full functionality and full brightness there on top. And the fact that it's white or clear is pretty dang cool. It ties in with the rear here. On the rear, you'll see more and more of this, these two stripes. I'm gonna call these 11s. Now, if you saw my shirt earlier, it's a little bit of a sneak peek to what is upcoming on the channel, so remember that, 11s. And on the back here, we did a stripe of that smoked out light. And I've thought about it, all trucks have the same exact tail light. They gotta make these to fit blue trucks, white trucks, orange trucks, green trucks, black trucks. So it's extremely generic, but having this black here kind of ties into the paint, so it kind of pulls that over, makes it look a lot more premium than it did a bit ago. Again, subtle touches, little tiny things that the majority of people won't ever see or notice, but me, I see it every single day. Super stoked the way this is coming out. Very happy with the smoked out tint. What's cool about this, $12.99. Amazon.com. Get yourself some wrap cut or that knifeless tape. It works wonders. You can do whatever you want with it, get creative. And if you have extra, heck, go crazy with it. Just be cognizant of your local laws and regulations. Really happy with this. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Since you have stuck around until this point in the video, we'll give you a sneak peek on what's going on to truck next week. Again, like I mentioned, we had a piece going here in the front that I changed my mind how I was going to install it. Now the part going on there is similar to the Ram TRX and the Ford Raptor. Both of those extreme variants of these manufacturers have something on the front end that really pulls it apart from all other trim levels of those trucks. We are doing that to the Trail Boss next week. So we'll see you then for that video, but until that day comes, as always, y'all take care and aloha.